Guys, I've done a lot of work looking into this thing about the dollar collapsing July the 1st. And what I have found is horrible. I know it's horrible, and it's not going to be good for the United States. I don't care what the I.R.S. thinks or what anybody else thinks. What's going to happen? See, what they've done is this right here, this bill right here, Hiring Incentives to Restore Employment Act. Let me show you what they've done down here. They've snuck the FATCA bill into this bill. Way on down here. Let me show you what these sneaky bastards have done. Let me see, it's down here to the bottom so that I'm sure no one would see and see what's going on and just sign off on the bill. Okay, this bill has been held back and postponed two or three times already because of the troubles that it's involved with. Withholdable payments to other foreign entities. Let me see, where is it? Where is it? What they're basically doing is making it to where, you know how all of the here it is, reporting on certain foreign accounts. Foreign account tax compliance. That's what it is about. It's about the foreign employment that has gone overseas and to make money to get away from the I.R.S. Well, this law makes the I.R.S. a global thing. They can now, come 1st of July 2014, they will implement this law. They will be able to tax all offshore accounts that are held by any U.S. citizens. The I.R.S. has gone overboard here, and the government thinks that it's going to save them a little bit of money, that they're going to make a little bit of money, but it's going to destroy Americans, the money that we get from overseas and the money that we make from offshore, the people that hold them accounts. I mean, I know a lot of people are against the people that have offshore accounts and who have shipped jobs overseas. Well, they've done that because the I.R.S. is so greedy that they tax them to death. Well, this bill allows them to tax them wherever they are on this earth. And that's why the friggin' dollar is going to crash. That's why it's going to be bad for the United States. I mean, it's going to be really bad. These guys right here, they're going to be in everybody's business worldwide. Any bank who has anything to do with a U.S. citizen, they will be able to get involved with that person. Anybody who has $50,000 in an account or more, they will be up in their business. And if these banks don't provide them the names and addresses and all the information to the I.R.S., they will be fined 30% of whatever that person has in that banking account, or they'll be fined so much a day or something like that. There's a lot involved in this thing. Like I said, they have buried this thing deep in this bill here. They have been very sneaky about it. And It is a monster. It is a beast. And it's part of the financial, what are they calling it? The conversion. I'm going to leave the links to all this stuff so you guys can go through it, but it's a lot of information. I mean, a huge amount of information. And it is bad. This right here, HR 2847, July 1st, 2014, US dollar will officially collapse. Well, I don't think it'll officially collapse on that day, but the ramifications from what they are doing will be felt this year. Everybody needs to go and listen to this here. They call it a global financial reset, and it's some scary stuff. Come over here and listen to this stuff. I mean, because it's not going to be good. Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. I mean, it's a friggin' nightmare, guys. When does it come into effect? July 1st, 2014. I mean, there is a lot of concern right now. And banks, foreign banks, are shutting out Americans, U.S. citizens, because of this law, because they don't want to have nothing to do with this. They don't want the I.R.S. up in their business, especially in foreign countries. I mean, this is absurd. The U.S. I.R.S. chief says there's not going to be another delay this time. We're going to go ahead with it no matter what. U.S. I.R.S. chief says no delay in tax dodger law. Some have doubts. Yeah, because it's so absurd. Because it's so invasive on these foreign banks. Anybody who has, I mean, it's sick what they're doing. They are so friggin' greedy that they have to go after any American who has 50 grand in an offshore account or a bank account anywhere in the world. They're going after them, and they're going to get their money starting from 2011, because this bill was first signed in 2010. But it has been postponed because of the problems that is just so screwed up in this whole thing. Oh boy. His remarks came 5 months before the United States must start enforcing the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, FATCA. It will require foreign banks, insurers, and investments funds to send the I.R.S. information about Americans' offshore accounts worth more than $50,000. Foreign businesses that do not comply with the law can be effectively frozen out of U.S. capital market because of a 30% withholding tax on U.S. source income. I mean, this is bad. This is bad. These people went over there to get away from paying all these taxes. They're getting them anyway. A lot of businessmen, a lot of wealthy people have rescinded their citizenship just to get out of this thing. Here's another article, why FATCA is bad for America. I mean, just think about it. Think about it. It's going to be bad for America. It's not going to be good. There's a lot of money that we make right now the way things are. when they throw this thing into the mix, those affected by FATCA. FATCA will have serious negative ramifications on the entire U.S. economy and more specifically on U.S. financial markets and financial institutions, U.S. businesses operating in global markets, American citizens residing overseas, American citizens with legitimate investments overseas. I mean, we're talking investments too. We're talking any financial, anything that's going on. They are going to put the clamp down on them, and they're going to try to pull their money from them. That's how greedy they have become. They are trying to tax Americans around the world, no matter where they live. And let me show you here. I mean, overseas bank accounts provide Americans a lot of money. It's a major part of our financial institution. All of Mitt Romney's money he's got overseas, bam, they're going to tax it. That's why all these movie stars have these offshore accounts. All these people have offshore accounts. That's going to be gone. That's history. You think that they're going to stay Americans once this has happened to them? Do you think that the world is going to look at the United States the same when it puts its tentacles into the world's banks in other countries' business like China and Russia? They're not going to put up with this crap. They're not going to put up with it. I mean, this is some serious, serious business. Congress quickly drafted the FATCA legislation and quietly slipped it into the higher incentives to restore employment bill signed into law by President Obama in March 2010. Most members of Congress are unaware of the unintended negative consequences this legislation will have when fully implemented. In 2014, FATCA requires foreign financial institutions, FFIs, of broad scope, banks, stock brokers, hedge funds, personal funds, insurance companies, trusts, to report directly to the I.R.S. all clients' accounts owned by U.S. citizens and the U.S. persons' green card holders. And starting July 1st. Financial foreign institutions to provide annual reports to the Internal Revenue Service on the name and address of each U.S. citizen, as well as the largest account balance in the year, and total debits and credits of any account owned by a U.S. person. I mean, this is a travesty, guys. This is a travesty. If an institution does not comply, the U.S. will impose 30% withholding. Okay, I've gone over that with you. Let me throw some numbers at you here and see what you think. Like I say, a lot of Americans have already started feeling the effect of this by being locked out of foreign banks. They don't want nothing to do with them. They don't want the I.R.S. in their business. Okay, here we go. George Bach, a Luxembourg-based KPMG partner and head of tax at KPMG, told reporters that at a funds event in London that FATCA could cause investors to sell out of U.S. stocks, bonds, and other investments affecting the price of the U.S. shares as well as those of other countries in ways that are not yet fully clear. A whopping 29% for the fixed income market and 26% of the equity market, replied the divestment. Replied that divestment. Depended on the details, implementation, rules of FATCA, I'm sorry. In other words, for funds managers worldwide, divestment from U.S. security markets is a real option. That means they will have nothing to do with U.S. investment markets at all. According to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, total foreign investments in the United States exceeds $21 trillion. Foreign investments in the U.S. securities alone exceeds $10 trillion. The capitalization of the two states exceed $21 trillion. Foreign investments in the U.S. securities alone. Okay, sorry about that. U.S. stocks exchange is 18.6 trillion. Financial weight of foreign financial institutions is enormous. The 100 top financial institutions worldwide command total asset of 77.6 trillion. More than 55 trillion, or 2/3 of this financial power, is controlled by non-U.S. financial institutions. Among the top 10 alone are 7 non-U.S. financial institutions with combined balance sheets assets of 16.7 trillion. In addition to the investments in securities, foreigners hold over 1 trillion on bank deposits in the United States because those deposits are tax-free, and the United States represents a safe haven for non-resident aliens. In the United States, because of those deposits are sorry, I keep doing that. Congress has deliberately established this policy to attract foreign funds so necessary to the U.S. economy, but if a 30% withholding tax may potentially be applied upon transfer of those deposits to an overseas account, that attractiveness of the United States banking services disappears. I mean, who's going to want to have anything to do with the U.S. banking system, the U.S. financial system, or anything? No one. No one. And like I say, there have been people totally rescinding their citizenship and moving overseas to China, to Australia, to South America, to all of these other countries that have much less financial restrictions and tax codes. I mean, this is not going to be good. And you know, it's funny because if you go on Thomas Library of Congress Thomas, and you punch in HR 2847, it's a freaking has something to do with military dogs or police dogs or something like that. It's ridiculous. They're trying to hide this law. They slipped it in at the bottom of this one, way down here. I mean, this is just disgusting. And I know I'm not for these rich people stowing away their money in foreign banking accounts so they don't have to pay taxes. Well, this is worse. Okay, this is worse. At least we still got those people here, providing some trickle-down economics to the rest of the country. And this is it's not going to help. It's going to break us. It's going to screw up the U.S. markets so bad. So, please, everybody, please, save up your money, do whatever you can do, because once this thing, we feel the full effect of it, we'll probably feel full effects of it at the end of the year. We might even feel it in July, who knows. But I'm thinking more about the end of the year and the first of next year, when these people, it's time to pay up, the IRS. And maybe that's why the I.R.S. has bought all this weapons and ammunition. Maybe that's why they're training with AR-15s. Maybe that's why they have a police department. And the like I was saying, the U.S. Treasury Department has postponed this bill being implemented 3 times already. That's why this is like, this guy is saying it's not going to be delayed this time. It's going for sure. So, I mean, I hate to tell you this, and there's people who will say it's no big deal and all that. But guys, come on here and do your own homework, and you tell me what this is going to cause. You tell me if this is going to be good for the United States. You tell me if these guys won't cut and run. Because I guarantee you they're going to cut and run. They're not going to stay, and these other banks aren't going to put up with this crap. This kind of crap starts wars. Nations going into other nations wanting to deal with privacy and stuff like that for people. I mean, this is bullcrap. This is greed. This is pure greed. Pure greed. I guess there is 2 things for sure: death and taxes, especially after July the 1st, 2014. Death and taxes for all American citizens. No matter where you are in the world, it's going to be global. The I.R.S. could very well become the global financial police, because it looks like they're setting that system up through this bill. I hope this has been a help to anybody. I have done some serious work on this, and what I have learned is not encouraging. It's what I've learned has shocked me, has made me sick. And these people are going to lose money in these overseas accounts, overseas anything to do with money, anything, investments, stocks, bonds, anything to do with money. They're going to have to pay up big time back from 2011. Well, that's 3 years worth of money they're going to owe. They're not going to trickle it down to us. It's going to go to the friggin' government, and then they're not going to play with us anymore. Like I say, it's a huge, huge gorilla in the room. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to deal with it. But it is a serious problem, and that's why the frickin' cops have these MRAPs and all this crap. They know the stuff is going to hit the fan, and they know Americans are going to be pissed. We're going to be like Venezuela here come after this thing's due. I mean, I hope it doesn't do the damage that I think it will, but I'm afraid that it will. I'm afraid it's going to turn this country inside out, upside down, and I mean, I hope it don't, but read between the lines here. Guys, come on here and check it out. Look through this stuff. Do your own homework. And I'll leave all these things down below. I can't leave any of this Google images. I can't leave those links below. But just type in, a foreign account Tax Compliance Act, type in the IRS worldwide, type in IRS police, US dollar collapse, IRS going global, overseas, what is it? Overseas bank accounts. That's what that one is. And you know, check it out. Check it out. But here it is, right here, and I will leave this link for you. But they've stuffed this in the bottom of this law, and it is a huge it's a huge bill that they've shoved it in there. And hiring incentives to restore Employment Act. Well, hoo-wah, it's going to screw us up. This is Chatty Dad 1. God bless, good luck to us all. Never give up your guns. Our Second Amendment, it protects the first and the last, and everything in between. Prepare while you can. Good luck to you. This is Chatty Dad 1, over and out.